You guys, I was just filming content all day and then I thought, why not? Instead of only having the audio, you get to see the live recorded version of this week's Streams of Maya. I mean, it makes sense, right? So, there you go. Welcome to my live recording. Mic check, mic check. No, I'm joking. This is really growing on me. I didn't think I would enjoy this so much, but there you are. There we are. There I am. For a little bit of context, this week has been calm. I have a lot of work. We've been experimenting with things and also preparing something in the background. It's been a little bit hectic, but in a good way because I truly love what I'm doing. Things are moving forward. The first bit of this week's streams is called Ancestral Healing, and it comes from my own thoughts around that as we have launched a course with a couple of guides on ancestral healing. And that comes as an experiment on something that my co-founder loves to call religion as a service. And I actually wrote an article about it. But it's really about seeing if we can do something with communities. If anything, our guides or conscious guides in general that we discovered is that they hate doing admin stuff, they hate doing marketing, they hate doing social media, or they don't know how to do it. We know how to do that, and we have the technological capabilities to build something around it. So why not experiment? And also, I mean, the guides that we collaborated with for this one are just amazing. I have been working with both of them. One is an ancestral healer and the other is a breathwork coach. And you guys, you don't understand the magic they brought into my life. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Anyhow, ancestral healing. Ancestral healing helps you break free from limiting family patterns and brings profound emotional freedom. Inherited trauma from your ancestors, parents, and other family members can impact different areas of your life, from relationships, career, money, health, and even self-worth. Sometimes you can experiment unexplained blockages, but actually, it's literally in your bloodline. It's in your genes. It's running from the heavens, from dead people, you guys, dead people. Can you imagine? I would have never thought. But equally, your ancestors hold so much power that you can unlock, and transmuting the power, or rather transmuting the trauma into power, is the key here. So ancestral healing happens through a process called bio-emotional decoding, or at least that's how I experienced it. You basically start from a symptom, which can be anything. It can be a physical illness symptom, an immune disease, chronic pain, or even more serious diseases, or an emotional symptom like heartbreak, anxiety, stress. It can even be a life situation like a blockage in your career, a blockage with your wealth, with your money, stagnation, whatever it is. You start with that symptom and then you trace back the root cause of that symptom in your family lineage. And you guys, mind you not, it's mind blowing. When I did that, I basically needed to gather information about my family tree, my family lineage, and I had zero information whatsoever, only about my parents and my grandparents. I barely even knew my grandparents. And the information just starts flowing through the process. It can come in the session, it can come after the session from different sources. Let's just say through synchronicities. That information will allow you to pinpoint a certain point in time, whether you lived it or one of your ancestors lived it, that has influenced whatever symptom you are experiencing today. And after you have identified that, you are actually able to dissolve it through deep energetic work. It's basically a guided meditation where there is some energy work going on as well. And afterwards through rituals. That's literally it. It's mind blowing. I was able to trace back the origins of my diabetes. I was able to trace back the origins of certain work blockages, and even I was even able to trace back my own the origin of my own entrepreneurial endeavors. I initially thought that I was kind of the black swan of the family because everyone is so conservative in their ways of approaching career and path and work and studies. But actually I discovered that no, there was way more to that. So it's truly something that is deeply transformative, and I'm so excited to be experimenting and bringing it to the world. I love to see where this is going to bring us. Money. I think it's very dangerous to preach something like money will flow to you if you just chill. That's like the worst thing. And to give you context, like we're running a mastermind, and that was one of the topics that came through. And so obviously I was kind of reflecting on it, and this is what I wrote in my notes. But oh my God, you guys, the number of people in the spiritual realm and self-development realm as well that would just say things like, oh, you just have to chill, relax, money will flow to you. No, like, no. I mean, there is some truth to it because you have to be in the energy of receiving. You have to be open and, yes, relaxed and not in that survival kind of like fearful energy. But the amount of people that just take that statement to the letter and they just chill and not do anything and wait for money to fall from the heavens. No, 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 no. We need to stop that. Like, I entered this spiritual world, and I mean, I'm just seeing certain things that are mind-blowing to me, and that's one of them. Anyhow, because that's far from the reality. There is a lot of nuance to it. I think every person is different, and every person has different karma towards money, wealth, and abundance. And to get to that chill place, it takes work. Okay? Like whatever form of work or however you want to qualify it. And that's literally what it is. I think it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of inner work. First and foremost, it takes a lot of self-awareness, first and foremost, and to be able to sit down and look within ourselves, look into all the dark places, the dark corners, the shadows, the subconscious, and what it is holding in terms of limiting beliefs, in terms of ancestral trauma, in terms of like habitual patterns that are putting us back or putting us down, however we want to say it. And to do the work, to deconstruct literally everything, deconstruct everything that you've learned. If anything that I've learned is that there is no thing as learning in the spiritual path or in the self-development path. It is actually unlearning, deconstructing, destroying, like being in that void and removing everything that we've been taught. And that's what it is about. Seriously, there is a lot of hard work that is to be done either on the ethereal plane, so energy work, emotional plane, so self-awareness, mindset work. I didn't write it here, but mindset, so extremely important. And in the physical reality. But sometimes it might not be perceived as work because it feels joyful or necessary that to the person that is doing it. I have gone to the depths of hell while doing this going through my personal development journey. But I love it. I enjoy it. I mean, to the point where sometimes I would have a conversation with someone and I would start talking about certain things that to the other person is so scary, or they wouldn't be able to do it. And to me, it's like, come on, it's so much fun. I mean, I love hanging out with my demons. I love being with myself, just sitting, doing nothing, and listening to my own self and figuring things out. Because, I mean, who doesn't love to know themselves? Seriously, tell me. Anyway, I lost where I was. And sometimes, oh, here we go. And sometimes it is a work that is not seen to be directly correlated to money or abundance, but it is actually what allows that to flow. For example, working on certain emotions, memories, ancestral work, etc. This creates a false perception that overnight successes and overnight riches exist. So I'm going to address the first one first. I think that very often the money blockages that we're experiencing can come from feeling unsafe, for example, or can come from unrelated childhood trauma. They can come from ancestral trauma, inherited family patterns, whatever it is. And so it's important to look at ourselves as holistic beings and not look at money as a separate thing from us. No. Like, money is within us. It is an energy that we are to integrate within our being. And that's how we free ourselves and clear our channels to receive it. Okay? And then I said overnight successes and overnight riches. There is no such thing as overnight success. Like, this is also something else. It takes 10 years to get to that overnight success. For the luckiest ones, it takes a couple of years less, but it takes hard work. And again, when I say hard work, I'm not necessarily referring to the outer work that we are doing. I'm not at all referring to grinding or hustling or all of that external work that we're doing. I'm talking about the inner work. To me, that's the most important work that anyone can do on any area. And that's the hard work. And that's even more difficult than to waking up every day at 5 a.m. and grinding your ass off for the 12 hours a day or whatever it is. Like, it's about looking within and doing that work, clearing your channels to be able to hold whatever it is that you want to create or manifest into this reality. There is no such thing as I surrendered and money came. The real question is, what took you to get to that moment of surrender? And that's what a lot of people forget to mention when they talk about topics like this. And that's what it is, my friends. Like, if anything, I will say it as it is. People don't say it as it is. And you would hear all of these internet gurus talking about manifesting and having your dream life and so easily and effortlessly. But hold on a second. Tell me the truth. Tell me what it takes to get there. Well, whatever. Science. One of the best kept secrets of scientists. No. One of the best kept secrets. I did a typo here for some reason. One of the best kept secrets of science is that physicists have lost their grip on reality. And this is a quote by Nick Herbert that I took from a book that I'm currently reading called The Physics of God. I am so interested in quantum physics, not from a manifestation perspective, but because I am truly, genuinely interested in understanding the way our reality works. And actually, so this book, it's really funny because this book is called The Physics of God. And the book that, one of the very first most striking books that I've read was when I was in high school. And I think it was called The Science of Religion or something like that. Yeah, I think it was The Science of Religion. And The Science of Religion. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It was called Einstein's Enigma. There you go. And that book literally changed my life. It was given to me by a professor, and I remember the book being so thick. Like there was so many pages and I read it in 2 days. I was obsessed. I didn't sleep. I just loved that book. And it really pushes the boundaries of how we perceive science and how we perceive physics and religion. And that to me was mind blowing. I just love learning about the different perceptions of reality, because to me that's what quantum physics is, that's what physics and science is, that's what, well, religion is, that's what spirituality is. At the end of the day, we have different languages that are explaining the same thing, and they even if they love to fight, they are all saying the same thing. That's how I personally see it. And then ultimately, you build your own perception of reality from all of these little things that you pick up here and there. It's so much fun. It's so much fun because we try as human beings to put rationality in everything that we do. But actually, we are completely irrational beings, and we are meant to be confusing. We are not meant to make sense. We are meant to pick things from different places, from different topics, from different disciplines. That's the word I was looking for. From different disciplines, and make up our own discipline. Like that's literally it. Becoming our own discipline, however confusing that might be. Anyhow, the next one is about silence, and I picked it up from another book, and that's something that is said Rockefeller used to say in meetings, and it's a very popular poem. A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why aren't we all like that wise old bird? I found it to be such a beautiful poem, and so striking as well, because growing up, I was someone who used to speak a lot. I mean, I still speak. I still enjoy speaking, let's say, but I found myself enjoying silence even more so. And there is this, again, misconception that we need to fill these voids of silence with noise, with words, with TV, with content, with radio, whatever it is. But actually, why don't we just listen to silence? Because to me, silence says much more than words very, very often, if only we give ourselves space for that silence to happen. And I used to be very uncomfortable when I would be speaking to someone and it would just go silent. But now I enjoy it because it just says so much about the other person too. There is a lot to read in those silences, and just being in observation. It's beautiful. Next one, journaling. So this is a catalyst entry that was given to me by a friend, and I would consider him very much so a guide that is helping me through my Kriya Yoga journey. And this is something he gave me in order to process whatever is coming through my practice. And I want to share it with you because for some reason, I had it again in my notes, and I've been using it for months. It's amazing. What happened? What emotions came up? Which of the 3 beliefs is causing this blockage, lack, attachment, or control? What is this asking me to know in myself or accept? Basically, you're meant to use this whenever an emotion or something triggering would come up. So take the time to kind of like pause, reflect, and just say, okay, what happened? Describe the event. What emotions came up? Know the emotions. And then it is said that the emotions usually come from 3 main blockages, either lack, attachment, or control. So identifying where that emotion is coming from, and then asking yourself, what is this asking me to know in myself or accept? It's beautiful. It's amazing. When you're in the flow, you're able to process so much and just let go, transmute, and it's amazing. Intuition. Intuition taps into your subconscious knowledge. It's like having a supercomputer in your gut. Your subconscious mind is constantly absorbing information. Every meeting, every conversation, every article you've read, like now you're listening to me, your subconscious mind is picking up on things that I'm saying and processing data through that. It processes all this data at lightning speed, making connections your conscious mind hasn't caught up with yet. So, next time you feel that gut instinct in a business decision, pay attention. Your intuition might just be your sharpest business tool. And that's something that is not often spoken about in business. I haven't been taught that in business school. I truly think that our environment sometimes overloads us with information and stimuli in order to disconnect us from one of the most powerful tools that we hold, which is our intuition, our I, I don't want to say gut feeling, because the gut can be tricky sometimes. It can hold certain emotions that are meant to keep us safe, or like keep us in a state of survival. So it's really distinguishing that with the intuition. The way you recognize the voice of your intuition is that it feels expansive versus the voice of the ego, or the voice of the limiting beliefs, limiting thought patterns, emotions, whatever. It feels very impulsive. It comes with a sense of urgency. So you kind of like want to act on it right now. But if you only pause and listen to your intuition instead, or rather pause and wait and be willing to wait until that first like hunch, that first impulse dissolves, dissipates, then the voice of the intuition comes through with all the answers that you are looking for. And it feels very expensive. It just feels right. And I have been, since I've learned this little trick, I have been allowing myself to do that. It's so difficult sometimes because you really want to do the thing. It's like, ah! And I initially was a very impatient person. And that's something that I'm working on. So it's really about grounding, allowing for that to pass, and listening to your intuition instead. I mean, it does wonders, you guys. Intuition never lies. And just as a reminder for all of those data-driven people out there, please remember that the most advanced piece of technology you hold is actually, drum beats, your body. It's your body. Your body has all the data, has everything that you need in order to move forward. And nothing external of your body, not even ChatGPT, holds that data. Okay, holds a more accurate data rather. So yes, it's good to be data driven, but be innerly data driven first. And then the two last ones: leadership, unpopular opinion. The most powerful leaders are those who embrace soft power. I think we all know what that means. There was a time where business meant like bullying or being a shark, and this bloodbath kind of like competition and dictating, imposing, conquering. But no, like soft power is about influence, it's about inspiration, it's the ways of the divine feminine, and that's what we are collectively moving towards. And when I say divine feminine, it does not necessarily mean women. It means it is an energy that we all hold within us. And that's what the collective is called to embrace in business in order to move forward, in order to serve humanity in the best and highest way and for the greatest good of all. And then the last one is a little poem that I wrote just because. In the depths of your being, your soul longs for thee. Feed her wisely. What else can I say? I think the poem says it all. So there you go, you guys. I know that this is way longer than listening to the actual audio, but I'm actually enjoying it and I enjoy sharing this with you. It's my own form of art, it's my own form of authentic self-expression. So I might just make it a thing and share a video every Sunday with you instead of having just the audio. So there you go. Lots of love to you all, and I wish you a wonderful week ahead. Wherever you are, whatever you will be doing, know that you rock. You will rock that, and just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Be in the present moment. Ground, breathe, meditate. And if you need to find a guide, you can go on worldoфenlighten.com and you'll find everything you look for. Okay.